Hello, it is now 7 p.m. and I'm Daryl Query.
And
I'm Delina Johnson.
I'm C. Ron Allen.
And a warm welcome to all of you to this week's edition of Community Conversation.
Let me apologize to Delina for trying to jump my spot, but that's all right. It happens sometimes. That's how excited I am tonight. But guys, tonight marks the 58th show, and for the last 3 weeks, I've been the bearer of sad news. Well, guess what, Delina and Daryl? I have some good news tonight.
What's the good news, Mr. Ciron?
Well, we are alive and in good health. COVID-19 is behind us. At least that's what our governor, the leaders are saying, or would like to have us think. And we had a grand time last Saturday at the Chihuahua race right here in Delray Beach. And say we have a great show planned for tonight.
We do.
You know, for the next 8 weeks, folks, we will hear from some women in our community who want to make sure that you are prepared for life. Young people, they want to make sure that you can avoid some of the pitfalls that they experience. And so they will be on with us to share with you a slice of their experiences. Okay, just a tiny bit of it. Now, after hearing their riveting stories, if you want to know more about their stories, if you want to know more about them, after hearing their stories, go out and buy their book. It is only $35, I think it is. Either $25 or $35. Either way, if it's $25, I'll take the 10. But I think it's $35. Okay, tonight, though, you will hear from the visionary author. She's not just the author. She's the visionary author. Okay, that's like hearing from the lady who had the idea, the woman who gave birth to this project, young people. Yes, the one who couldn't sleep at night, just worrying about making sure those deadlines are met, making sure the bills are paid. Yes, you have to pay to print these books. That's why they sell the books. And she's going to kick it off tonight. Okay, she is going to be here. In fact, she will be joining us shortly to tell you all about this project, how it came about. And you'll have a chance to ask them questions. If you have questions, make sure you put them in the chat, or you can, again, text them to 561-665-0151. That's 561-665-0151. So with that, I know you're on the edge of your seats, so stay tuned, okay? Just stay tuned.
So, Mr. Ciron, moving forward with, the success of the Chihuahua race, we were told last week that Jack and Charlie would make a little feature. So how have those two boys of yours been?
I think it's clear, Daryl. I think it's very clear that I need to start investing in Excedrin or some type of headache medication, or maybe even a tranquilizer company, because I have so much respect. Though seriously, I have so much respect for parents, mothers of infants, mothers anyone who stay home with kids during the day. Now, these dogs aren't kids. Okay, let me make that clear. But what a week this has been for me. This boy Charlie had me on my toes. Every second, Daryl, it was get down. Stop, Charlie. Stop. Why don't you listen to your brother? I mean, they had me going. By the way, do you have a pet, Daryl?
I used to back
You
home.
used to. What'd you have?
A mix between a pit bull and a Dodger not terrier. I think it was a German Shepherd. I can't remember.
You say a
A
mix.
Doberman.
What do you
That's
mean
what
a
it
mix?
was.
What was it? A lab, a German Shepherd, a pit bull, or what? What is it?
It was half. The father was a pit bull and the mother was a Doberman, and then they had two
Okay.
puppies.
So in other words, it was a mutt then. Okay, got you.
Yeah.
Okay, a mutt. So what about you, Delina? You have a pet?
No, I don't.
You say no, you don't.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Oh, what do you have?
No, I said I don't have a pet.
Oh, you don't have a pet. Okay. All right. Well, good for you right now. Good for you. You know, and this boy, he is such a great actor, especially in public. You know, you should have seen him. You should have seen him at the race on Saturday. He was just so calm and Neil. He was so polite and acting like, you would never imagine this is the same Charlie you hear me talk about each week. The same Charlie who just shredded my house, ripped my house apart. This week, I told you a few weeks ago how I watched him as he grew, and then he started jumping on my sofa, and then he started jumping on tables. I had to put a stop to that. Last 2 weeks ago, he jumped on my bathroom, around the bathtub, and then end up on my counter. Now, I was in bed this morning. I started yesterday morning, and he jumped in my bed. And my bed is like 3 mattresses high. Okay, my bed is probably up to my breast, and he jumped on the bed, so I had to put a stop to that as well. But this dog is just something else, getting out of hand. Yeah, I see your text coming in. I see no. I don't need another one. No, y'all got me in trouble the first time. When I first got Charlie, for those who are listening, first got Charlie, he was a handful. Then they said I need to get a second one, and I ended up getting Jack. Now Jack was a blessing. Jack was great. Getting Jack was great because he surely calmed Charlie down. But Charlie is beyond calming right now. Maybe only a tranquilizer can take care of him from time to time. But that's my boy. Still, let him be. Let him be. Let him be. But speaking of the Chihuahua race, you mentioned the Chihuahua race. How was the Chihuahua race, Delina?
The Kentucky Derby may have been on the minds of many in the United States last Saturday, but in Delray Beach, the Great Chihuahua Race was the talk of the town as four well-trained pooches vied for bragging rights at the top dog. The races at the Spady Museum drew a moderate, cheering crowd that didn't seem to mind sitting in the 92-degree temperatures. With COVID protocols in place, people showed up to support the event presented by KLP Mentoring Network in partnership with Hispano Cultural Alliance, Inc. and sponsored by the Spady Cultural Heritage Museum, Frank Chavez, Bale Bonds, and Factory Direct Supply. In the end, Ruby finished in first place. Second place went to Penny Lane and Mimi, who enjoyed strutting over running, snagged the third place honors. Petey went home with the fourth place honors. It was a wonderful event, Suzette Franklin, race coordinator, said. The weather was great, and we were able to provide some wholesome, adorable family fun to our community after we have been cooped up inside for more than a year.
Well, I'm gonna say that is you're absolutely correct. That was a race that will go down in the history as one of the. This wasn't a Delray Fair. No, it wasn't a Roots Festival, but it sure was entertaining for the audience that we attracted. So entertaining, Daryl, that we're going to do it again in October. I think we're going to have one for the mutts and one for all the any type of pooch under 20 pounds. You'll have a chance to come down and not only strut, but you'll have a chance to race. Can't wait to hear about your. Okay, someone just texted to say that finally we decided to honor and give respect to other dogs. I respect all dogs. Cinco de Mayo was this week, guys. That's why we had the race, the Chihuahua race, on last week. But moving on from dogs to nicer things, smoother things, greater things. Let me say happy anniversary to my friend Joy Reid, who is celebrating her 6th anniversary on TV. National screen, that is, Daryl. Big screen with the big boys.
Congrats,
Some
Joy.
of you probably already know, but she is a local product. Got her start right here in South Florida, one of our very own. And she got her start with the legendary James T. Thomas, the godfather of South Florida radio. Again, congratulations, Joy. And they say the best is yet to come. Someday, Daryl, I look forward to the day when I will be wishing you kudos, my son,
Thank you,
on
sir.
6 years on the big screen. Hey,
Hopefully.
just a matter of time. Okay, our young people have been busy collecting supplies and packing boxes for their peers in St. Vincent, whose lives have been upended by the volcanic eruptions on the Caribbean island of St. Vincent. That happened a few weeks ago. And they are collecting items to ship over. Is Mr. Anthony with us, Neil? Okay, not yet. Okay. They're collecting supplies at the Amazon hub, so you can drop it off at the Amazon hub that's at 400 West Atlantic Avenue for another week or so, maybe a week and a day. In fact, they'll be collecting tomorrow at the Mother's Day observance downtown Delray. And the items they need and they desperately need include toilet paper, washing detergent, dish soap, sheets, and baby blankets, formula, cots, water, sanitary napkins, face masks, hand sanitizers, diapers, soap, baby wipes, toothbrushes, and toothpaste, and more. As of now, no water, please, and no ladies' apparel. They have enough ladies' clothing. Not sure if there are more men on the island than ladies or what, or when ladies go out, they just buy in bulk. So they have enough clothing for ladies as we speak. Okay?
Moving on with the topic of Mother's Day, we wish all mothers a happy Mother's Day on Sunday. KOP will have the honor of honoring 5 women who have given themselves to better the lives of countless children in our community. So tomorrow, from 2:30 p.m. until 3:30 p.m., they will be recognizing these ladies of distinction in the parking lot at 401 West Atlantic Avenue. Hope to see you there.
Okay, so shout out to Janaya, who's joining us, our leader of this St. Vincent project. And Mary Beth says, "Have you considered doggy daycare? Doggy daycare. What the heck is doggy daycare? What's that?" John, Daryl, you had a dog. Tell me about it. What's doggy daycare?
Well, doggy daycare was sort of this pristine place that you take your dog for a spa. I think it's more of a popular notion to keep in the United States or
Okay,
the
oh, she was
Caribbean,
referring
though.
to. Okay, yes, yes, I do have I have an agreement with Banfield, and I think I have an insurance policy with them where they can spend the day. So yes, thank you, Maribeth, for that. I will be dropping them off in a few. I think I'll just follow my boy Chris and drop them off during the day so I can have some peace of mind during the day and just feed them at night and send them to bed. But anyway, so last week, Coach Jamel Stewart was here with us, and he gave us a sneak preview about a special guest that he had scheduled for Delray Morning Live this week. Since many of you will be um, at work or may have been at work this past week and couldn't catch the show, and we will bring it to you live. Delray Morning Live is aired every Wednesday morning from 8 to 8:30, and obviously you either be in the car or on the job. Okay, so you can listen right here on Community Conversations each week, and we will give you a sneak peek. Okay, let's hear more about the show from Jamel himself.
So this week's show on Dairy Morning Live, we're gearing it around education. And the goal is to bring the valedictorian from Atlantic High School and also the valedictorian from Village Academy on just to talk about, their journey and what it feels like to be a valedictorian of their high school and talk about where they're going to college. Me and Amanda, we're a host, so we will also talk about our alma maters on where we went to college to everybody. We're also bringing Mr. Dupree Jackson on to talk about his legislator program. Young legislator program that's taking place this summer as well. So a lot of things we're trying to highlight some things in education. I'm trying to find an educator from Delray that's in Delray too to also come on and talk to us as well. So it's going to be an exciting
good.
show.
So if we have one out there listening, make sure you give us a call. What number can they reach you at?
561-914-4266.
That's 561-914-4266.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we have with us Coach Jamel Stewart from Atlantic High School and Delray Morning Live. Now, Coach, last week you told us that you had a very special guest on the show this week. For those of us who didn't have a chance to tune in, why don't you give us a heads up?
Hey, so listen, man, Matson Luth, who's from Delray Beach, he's made his appearances at singing the national anthem at the Miami Heat games. The guy is just a star right now. You put a microphone in his hand. He reminds me of Bruno Mars. He is an entertainer. And I don't think really people have really had an opportunity to really just see his skill set and his talents with the microphone. He will be coming on at our next show on Wednesday as well with his band to perform for everyone. Yes.
Okay. So he was on last week and it was so good. You got to bring him back again.
I have to bring him back, man. This guy, I want to make it to a point where he is part of the show. Every show that we do, he has to be part of it. That's my goal.
What's his brother's name?
Matson Luth. He's a Delray Beach native.
Super. So speaking of Delray Beach native, hey man, I got a lady said to me the other day, I saw this guy on Super Bowl, a commercial on Super Bowl. You know, the bald head guy from downtown Delray. I said, no, I don't know. She said, he must got some money.
Nah, just look like it.
Anyway, Coach, who y'all playing tonight?
So tonight we have Palm Beach Gardens High School. Tonight we play Palm Beach Gardens High School. We'll be traveling up there this evening. So I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a great game. The head coach there, actually, when I was a senior, we graduated our same year and we did some recruiting trips together. So we do have a cool relationship with each other. So it's going to be a friendly matchup.
Super. How'd you guys do last week?
Last week we won 20-3. Played really well in the rain.
Well, you played a girls' school? Anyway, Coach, always good, brother. And I will touch base soon.
All right, sounds great. Have a good
Ladies and gentlemen, Coach Jamel Stewart, Atlantic High School and Delray Morning Live.
Okay, so last week we had scorching but good weather for the dog race. Okay, I'm not going to complain. I enjoyed it. Meetha's not here this evening, but we have Daryl has the weather for us. There he is. What's going on, Daryl? What can we expect?
So hopefully you guys took advantage of the beautiful weather this Friday evening that we got the privilege of receiving. So if you're planning to go out tonight, you should have a good chance to have a peaceful outsiding weather-wise, as the chance of a shower is only 3%. You can expect the same type of weather tomorrow, with the temperatures rising to 84 degrees and a low of 74 degrees. If you're planning to attend the Mother's Day observance tomorrow in Delray, you should have beautiful weather. Tomorrow night should be cool and nice. The sun will rise at 6:36 a.m. and set at 7:56 p.m. as shown correspondingly. On Sunday, except for a few afternoon clouds, it should be mainly sunny, high 84 degrees, winds east-southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Sunday night, we should see clear skies with a few passing clouds, low 77 degrees, wind southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. That's our weather update for today. Have a great weekend. So going forward now into our regular programming, a warm welcome to our friends who are joining us on KOP Mentor Network's or Boca Raton Tribune's Facebook pages or on YouTube. We know that you're listening, we get your texts and emails, and we greatly appreciate your correspondence and feedback. As usual, shout out to our friends in the Bahamas, Belize, Canada, Jamaica, Japan, Tobago, and the US Virgin Islands, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Please remember to share community conversation on your social media pages. If you've missed a show, you can find it on Boca Raton Tribune or KOP Mentor Network's Facebook pages.
Here at KOP, we believe that leadership training prepares youth to manage their time, work in a team setting, set goals for themselves, and start conversations, facilitate meetings, and make effective presentations, all of which are positive life skills that they will need to carry into adulthood. Please direct your attention to our friend, Mr. John Maxwell, for our Leadership Minute.
Hi, John Maxwell here. Welcome to Minute with Maxwell. I'm in Orlando, Florida with JMTers all behind me, 2,500 of them, and we're training and equipping them, and they're going out into their world and making a big difference. I have with me in this group Jake, and he's going to give me the word for the day on Minute with Maxwell. What is it, Jake?
Youth.
Youth. I wonder why you would pick that, Jake, huh? What's your age?
I'm 10.
You're 10 years old. Well, behind Jake is Gina, who oversees on the John Maxwell team our youth programs and has done an outstanding job. How many people did we last year do our teaching and training with in Youth Max?
465,000.
465,000 people last year, thanks to the John Maxwell team members and Gina going out and making a difference. And Jake, it's a great word, youth, because you are not only our future, I say that youth are our present. We need you right now. In fact, in some countries, we're in so much trouble, we need all the help we can possibly get. But I do know this, when you pour your life into kids like Jake, they have a whole life to give a return to the values you teach them, the principles you teach them, the experiences that you give them. So who in your life today, as you're watching Minute with Maxwell, would you like to find and pour your life into and commit to helping them to grow up to be a wonderful person that adds value to others? In other words, who's the Jake in your life? Who's the child that's going to go out and going to make a difference because you put your impact upon them? I'm really glad that you joined us today with Minute with Maxwell. And when you're finished watching this, go find your kid, the person that you want to help, that has some youth to them, that has a future potential for all their life, and go make a difference in theirs. Thanks so much for watching Minute with Maxwell with us today.
Tonight's program is produced by Jonaldina Bazu, a graduating senior at Atlantic Community High School and soon-to-be member of the Millbury College class of 2025. As usual, the genius behind those videos that you're seeing tonight is our illustrious cinematographer, Neil Sunsky, Neil Noel, a proud product of KOP Mentoring Network and the Village Academy. Our social media intern is Jasmine Collins, a sophomore at Florida State University. Check out our social media pages to see more of Jasmine's fine work. So it's that section of the show where we get our well-awaited guest, highly anticipated. Let's bring in Mr. John.
Mr. John.
Hey, sir. How are you?
What's going on, brother?
Hey, how's it going?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Hold a minute, John. Is Fernando on, Neil? Cinnamon, John. We gotta wanna be alpha, man. trying to steal our thunder, bro. Not yet. Okay. All right. When he comes, just send him an email. Okay. So what's going on, bro? How was the week?
Man, it was a good week, man. So classes ended at FAU, not this week, but the week before, and so this week was a lot of kind of the cleanup through the semester, and so yeah, just the summer's here, and so hopefully I get a little vacation in June and July, but yeah, in athletics, man, there is no break in athletics, and so.
So
We
does that
go
mean
right in the summer. Baseball still in season, softball still in season, and then we'll bring our football team back in a couple of weeks. So yeah, man, it's always a lot of things going on in the
So
world
does
of
that mean
athletics.
school is out? School is out, John, for good?
Yeah, well, summer school starts on the 15th, but
Okay.
school is out for the semester.
Okay, good. Well, you know what? Let's. I was hoping Fernando would join us, but let's get straight to the point. A few weeks ago, maybe about 3 weeks ago, we were up in arms over the, what the folks in Georgia, what the legislators in Georgia did when they stripped voters of several rights in hopes of taking back by control. Correct me if I'm wrong, John. Didn't the same thing just happen right here in Florida? Am I correct?
Yeah, no. Governor DeSantis on Thursday, and so yesterday, reduced the voting access in one of the battleground states. And so I know we talked about Georgia and that the steps that their Republican-led state legislature put in place to kind of restrict the access. And so right off the heels of that, Florida passed something. And so yeah, so here we are.
How did this happen? How didn't people not see this coming? I saw it coming. We saw it coming a few weeks ago when this happened in Florida. How did this happen?
I don't know. I don't know. I can tell you the result from it. I think it just goes back to Georgia and Florida. I guess these are two key battleground states, and so both of those were critical in this upcoming the past presidential election, and the Republicans have the majority in both the Senate and the House in both of those states, and so now more than ever, it was time for them to look at the current law and figure out how it could potentially be advantageous to them if you try to limit, marginalized communities, communities of color, in their access to the ballots. And so in voting early, I know it's been something that's been key for Democrats and people of color in particular, because not everybody can just get election day off. Not everybody, and so having that flexibility is critical for people to go out and to vote. And so yeah, so I think any measure to try to limit that is definitely going to impact the communities that utilize it. And typically those communities are communities of color, other marginalized communities, and it's something that we're going to be living with, and they're willing to sacrifice. They is in the people that are in control of both of these states, as far as the legislature, they're willing to sacrifice how it may impact some of their voter turnout for the idea that it's going to have more of an impact for people that typically vote Democrat. So yeah, they did the research, crunched the numbers, see who's voting early. And they determined that we're gonna, limit drop boxes. We're gonna add more identification requirements for people requesting absentee ballots. This also requires voters to request an absentee ballot for each 2-year election cycle rather than every 4 years. And so yeah, so it's just big on drop boxes and
Sound like trickery to me. But John, as a military man, I believe in fighting, but not fight actually, face to face, strategically fight the battle. So it's incumbent on organizations such as fraternities, sororities, civic groups, and non-profit, but civic groups to go out, educate these people, and make sure, find ways to get around this. So I am hoping that the fraternities who are listening and sororities will take this back to the drawing board and start working on it.
And instead of 100 feet away, now you have to be 150 feet away. And so, again, and people are upset because the law it weakens because the whole idea a couple of years back is to expand voting, allow more people to vote, allow more people to exercise their voice in this country. And so to then kind of take a step forward when we should be encouraging people to vote, and giving communities of color in our work schedules and having that flexibility. So to not have that is definitely going to impact future elections in the state of Florida.
Sounds good. I'm being told that we have Mr. Jones hanging out in the green room. Cinnamon, Neil, cinnamon. All right, I guess he's too hot for this. Can't handle this. That's all right. So speaking of surprise, John, this week we had some surprising news. Bill and Melinda Gates, they parted ways after many years. They've been together almost 30 years, I think it was. And that was all over the news for a few days. But, and not to be cynical here, but people get divorced every day. Look at Halle Berry. Look at Kim Cardi West. They got divorced, but did not get the publicity as the Gates did. Why, Brother John? Why, Mr. John? Why, Attorney John? Why is this such a big deal?
When I saw that and I saw, that question, I think it's because of one is Bill Gates. And so the length of their marriage, I think, is part of it. But I do want to go a little bit deeper. I think the length of their marriage, they were married for 27 years. I think they have 2 to 3 kids. And so, when you're together with someone for that long, usually, because what is it, if you get past 5 years, if you get past 10 years, then normally you're going to get past whatever and have a long, sustaining marriage. And so I think it's because, one, is the length. Surprising, we didn't really hear about any infidelity issues or any issues within their marriage prior to the announcement. And then I think also because of how much they do from a philanthropy and point of view. And so I think that's what people are just nervous or concerned about. You have the Bill Gates Scholarship. You have a lot of things that they've done as a couple. And so it'd be interesting to see, how they move forward with their giving, with different things that they're doing in the community as a part, as opposed to, being together as a couple. So I think that the philanthropy is also a big key into why this is a big deal. And yeah, I think it was just totally surprising and unexpected. I had no idea that Bill and Melinda Gates were even on the, their relationship was even on the rocks or teetering to that way. So, right. So the surprise, and I think it's just, how long they've been married, and also think just the giving and what that's going to look like moving forward for a billionaire, one of the richest families in the world, the Gates family. So it's going to be interesting to see how they maneuver separately.
Next week, folks, we want to take a look at something that many of us are just love, football. Okay, we're going to take a look at the blackout, the Colin Kaepernick situation. So stay tuned. If you would like to be a part of that discussion, if you have some burning thoughts you want to share on what happened to Kaepernick, give us a call, 561-665-0151. You can send us a text, or you can also, Neil, make sure the number's up, please, and send us an email, to info@kopmn.org. Info@kopmn.org. Neil, go ahead and get Mr. Jones in, please. Mr. Jones, I think you're on the YouTube link. Go to the StreamYard. So get out of YouTube, get on StreamYard, and I will see you shortly. So, John, tell me this. You know, the question that's on everyone's mind this week is, how did the Relay for Life go? How'd you finish in that race?
Man, I think it hasn't been officially announced by the fraternity yet. I know we have our chapter meeting not Mother's Day Sunday, but the Sunday after.
Sunday, okay.
And so that's when it'd be official. But I think I won. But yeah, unless there was some last minute donations to another brother, I think that I might have squeaked through.
Now, remember, we told folks last week to send donations in with my name at the end. To your knowledge, did that happen? Did they send it?
I don't think so. I actually want to take a look at it now. I don't think so, but I've been surprised before. So I do want to check it out and see.
I may have to ask for an audit of that when it's all over and done, because I'm sure people kept telling me, "Hey, I sent money in for you. I sent money in for you." I said, "Look, I haven't heard anything about it." So I guess they sent it in for C. Ron, but it went to John. But that's all right. It's helping a good cause. But we have another one coming up, right? We have another contest coming up, the March of Dimes. Am I correct?
We do. And I just dropped that down in the chat for Neil if he would like to spread the word as it relates to my March of Dimes page. But yeah, that's for our mothers and our babies, and to make sure that we take care of them, make sure that they have successful births and any birth defects and anything that results from that.
I do have a little piece of March of Dimes trivia, which I'm not going to get in the interest of time. I'm going to get into that next week. But so if you guys are listening, make sure you tune in next week, because we're going to have a question, John. Which fraternity? Isn't there only one fraternity?
Yeah, I didn't know that there were other fraternities.
I didn't know there were others.
I mean, that's news to me. So, I was today years old when I found out that there was other fraternities. So I did not know, but thank you for telling me. Thank you.
Anyway, Miss Mary, something you'll find out later on. There's only one fraternity, so do some homework. Anyway, guys, Neil, what do you have for us?
Good night, sweetheart. Well, it's time to go home. Good night, sweetheart. Well, it's time to go home. I hate to leave you, but I really must say,
oh, good night,
sweetheart. Good night.
And I don't care what y'all people from the hill said, Miss W, Miss Franklin, all of y'all, I know I can sing.
All right, have a good one, Mr. Stephenson. So, let's get into the highlight of what we have planned for tonight. We've all heard the saying, everyone has a story to tell, but there are some stories worth capturing on paper that ensure that they are long enough, well after time has passed, written to impact lives. One of several excellent pieces that will be available in bookstores soon is this well-crafted anthology, Sister to Sister. This is a powerfully affecting collection of essays on the ties that bind 16 Black women in our community. These women, who we will hear from on Community Conversation with Representatives, share some of their innermost experiences in this journey called life. Some stories are moving and painful, some are humorous. There's an effortless blend that they have incorporated to portray the trueness of the experience. Still, even the bleaker pieces hold lovely, ethereal moments, and the relationships between these women are full and complex. Warmth, love, hilarity, shared memories, all in hopes of ensuring that our youth will have a blueprint by which to guide their lives. With us tonight is a visionary author, Ms. Rhonda Turner Williams, one of the Palm Beach County chapter of the National Coalition of Black Women, and Mrs. Belithina Berry, president of the Tampa Bay chapter of National Coalition of Black Women as well. Thank you both of us for giving us the esteemed honor of interviewing you tonight. I can't say how excited I am. This will turn out great. So for you first, Mrs. Turner, congratulations on your recently released book, Sister to Sister. As a visionary author, how did this project come about at the time?
Well, thank you, Daryl. And can I do some correction? I am the president of the South Palm Beach County Chapter National Coalition of 100 Black Women.
Thank you.
No problem. So that's probably how things got started, with me being in many different Black women organizations, Black women groups, and out of a lot of those groups, they're like sisterhoods. So, there are some ups and downs and some roundabouts and stuff that we all go through as Black women. But the purpose of this book was to talk about the situations and issues that we have had with other Black women, and how did we get past it, and what can we do to do better as Black women to empower other Black women, to uplift other women. So that's how I decided to do this book, because it's not talked about much. We talk about it in our little groups, okay, our friends or whatever. Oh, she did this to me, I'm hurt. Or, oh, that woman was so amazing. She helped me go here. She helped me do this. She helped me to that next level. So why not let the world know that there are ways and there are opportunities out there working. We always hear the saying that, oh, I don't do a lot of Black women. I don't do a lot of women. I'll hang with men, before I hang with Black women, because they keep up too much and all of that. But why not work at becoming better? And that's what this book is about. We give our stories and we tell people some of the things we went through and how it made us feel. And some of them also have stories that are good stories to talk about how they were blessed by somebody else. So that's what this book is mainly about.
I think that it's beautiful that you are able to communicate with that and write about it so intimately, because firstly, the Black experience on a whole is something that's difficult in itself to explain to someone who can't immediately relate to it.
Right.
And I think with what you've just explained on sort of reforming the archetype on the Black woman and putting it into this thing where communication is vital to try to reform the image that outsiders or even some members of the community will form to have some sort of, better stance for themselves. I think it's just beautiful that you've engaged this stuff for yourself and other colleagues, and I can't wait to hear more.
Awesome. We can't wait to give more.
Can you give us a quick overview of it and what can readers expect to get from the book?
Go ahead, Belithina. I'll let you go ahead.
Well, there's many different stories. So you have 16 women from all different backgrounds. We're professionals. I say we are the lead of the elite. We have been there. And as Rhonda stated, she brought us all together. This was her vision. And I'm just happy to even have a part of this vision, because I have my own story. And each person, as I say, it's going to be a page turner. You're going to be into the life of every individual. And so from my path, I've been in many organizations, and I'm also part of a sorority as well. And I've had friends, I've had frenemies, I've had mentors, I've had you name it. I have been through the storm when it comes to Black women, but you got to have the courage to look in the mirror, know who you are, and have the confidence to be able to stand any situation that comes your way. And I tell individuals, when you come to the organization or come to a sisterhood, know what your mission is. Why are you there? And while you're there, what are you learning out of it? And as I stated before, I said, you have friends who are going to be a season, a reason, and a lifetime. And trust me, I have very few lifetimes. I had a lot of reasons and a whole bunch of seasons. But with that, I was able to grow, stand on my own. And I know that everyone can have a front row seat to everything that you're doing. And I encourage my friends, as Rhonda has encouraged me, to level up and not be mediocre. As I say, with my life, be excellent in everything you do. So I feel that this book is going to educate, encourage other Black women, our youth, the girls in the community, that this is not a reality show. This is not perception and reality. This is true reality, and that we can get along and we can do great things. And I've seen it through many organizations when we put egos aside. So other than that, I can't tell you everything because I want you to go buy the book.
So I think going deeper into context, the book, in hindsight, explains everything from La Femme Noire, that Black female experience, that insight. But you've shared your motivations for me, and both of you have a clear social background that you take in your own activism and your positions that you have. But in these 16 perspectives, can you just explain, either one of you, to the audience, was there any issue in cohesiveness? What was that main middle ground that all of these experiences had to share for the reader that you can clearly identify for us?
Well, I think Valentia kind of like summed it up. We all have had women in our life for a reason, a season, and a lifetime. In some of those seasons and reasons, we've all been hurt, disappointed, or lifted, or encouraged. So everybody that's in here, including people that's not even in here, have actually went through something like that. Didn't know which way to turn because they might have felt that everybody turned their back on them, or you had that sister that feels like they always uplifting people, always empowering people, but maybe they're hurting and nobody knows that they're hurting. So the 16 women in here, they all have those different stories and all been affected in some kind of way.
Right.
All right, thank you for that.
All
right, Delina?
The book chronicles the journey and experiences with sisterhood of 16 successful Black women. Why is it so important to shed the light on the power of sisterhood, and how has that sisterhood influenced you?
You have good questions. I'm telling you all. I think the narrative, what we see on social media, as I go back to reality shows, you don't see a group of women coming together. Well, you do, but there's always a lot of drama in between. But we're coming together for a good cause. And we want to show women that we can collectively do things. We can move things, regardless of status, regardless of marital status. It doesn't matter wherever you are in life. Successful Black women coming together under one cause, one book. We all have a message. We all have a voice, but collectively, individually, we can stand, but collectively as a unit, we can move mountains. And so I just thank Rhonda for her vision of bringing successful Black women. That's key. Successful Black women in all walks of life. We're all across the state, different states. And for us to come together like this should be celebrated. It should be. We should have our own reality TV. I'm putting that out there. We should have our own reality show, because I guarantee you, when you start to see, I said you can't be what you can't see. So young girls can see positive images of Black women doing great things. That is key right now with this book.
And let me also say, a successful woman don't have to be somebody with a doctorate degree.
Right.
You know, we have to always remember that. Sometimes women don't know how to treat another Black woman because you feel like, okay, well, I'm a step above.
Right.
We have to get past that. Why can't we help others grow?
Right.
Why can't we help empower others to be successful?
Right.
And that's what we need to understand. We can accomplish so much more if we knew how to uplift each other. Not just the 5 over there, but what about the 100 over there?
Right.
We don't have to be on the same level.
Yeah, we don't.
But what about empowering each other?
Yeah, regardless of economic status. Okay, because we all one paycheck.
That's right.
I say that you're not, don't put anything past that. Anything can happen at any moment, but it's what's in your heart, who you are, and that person you look in the mirror every day. That's who you are, to help other people. That's why we're here on this earth.
And mostly the women, the 16 women that are a part of this book, they all have played a part that I've known in their community. And that's why you see courage, connection, and community. They are doing things in their community.
Right.
You know, they may not agree with everything that goes on, but they know how to get past it. They know how to work together, and they know how to do it. I am a part of, like she said, we both are in the same sorority. We both are in the National Coalition of 100 Black Women. She's the president in Tampa. I'm the president in this area. And then we have another president that's a part of this out of the West Palm Beach area that's a part of this book. But I have, you know, I have a friend, and I'm going to put it out there. I have a friend that actually, she used to do a girls' getaway. And, you know, the first thing I used to always think was like, oh, she always say, well, can you go? And I was like, no. With 25 other women? In one house? No, can't do that. So for years, she was asking me that. So when I did decide to do it, I was like, okay, well, I actually got pushed into doing it. But it was a good thing that I did get pushed into doing it. Somebody just signed me up and said, okay, well, you on there, you going. So when we got there and I saw my name on the door and I saw all these other women, I was like, I don't know none of I don't know them women. Like, oh my God. So I looked at the other lady and I said, listen, if these women cut up in here, we got to go get us a hotel because we were 3 hours away. Okay. So I'm going to go get me a hotel. Right. So she was like, my friend was like, okay, yeah, we're going to go get us a hotel. So when I got in the house, my spirits was like just totally had changed because how they welcomed me, how they, you know, it was like they know me for a long time. And right now to this day, we call each other sisters.
Good.
So we always, just like I said, we always think about, oh, well, I can't deal with women like that. You know, just know your place and accept people for where they are.
Right.
You know, they don't have to be millionaires, but accept us for where we are.
I think what I love about what the both of you are communicating, it's just the foundations of sisterhood, basically. And, you know, if we go back into history and we look at the women's rights movements that used to move on for how women were represented in society, we're getting a lot of male voices that were coming on stagnant into that. And I think that's like the pivotal point where these ideas of, you know, the patriarchal power in stabilizing that sort of society that women have for themselves as like a vital point where really that's not the case. And you so clearly communicated that with me a while ago, Ms. Turner. And I think, you know, if we're going to aim for a contemporary form of feminism these days. This is a sort of collaboration, that open-mindedness that we need in our societies. So I think we have a good idea of, the social standing of this book, and it has me invested. But I think I want to understand how the writing experience in itself was for the two of you. What in expression was that point that you said, okay, is this going to be a stagnant for me to write clearly? What was that point that you really started to rethink or go deeper into where the book was going to go in the future?
You know what, I'm gonna pass it on to Valenthia after I say this. Because I was the visionary. I was in, I'll tell my story because I have another book that I'm in. I Am Empowered Woman. And I was one of those ones that got pregnant in high school. So people looked down at me, and I was nobody. Like, okay, well, she's not gonna be able to buy it. She having babies, So I didn't go finish college until after my oldest three sons was was in high school. And I didn't get a master's degree until later on. So like when other people was able to do that ahead of time, people had done put me down like, oh, she's not going to be able to, she's not going nowhere, she's not going to do anything. But look at me now. Thank you. So that's being where I am today, and people that trust and actually lift me up, empowered me to do some of the things that I'm doing now within my community, within my sisters and all of that. It was very easy for me to write the things that have happened in my life and, being lifted, being torn down. So it wasn't hard for me to think about putting this book together, because we don't know who else out there that's hurting from what someone said to them. Right. And a Black woman at that. So I'll just pass it on to Ms. Valenthia, and she can tell you her piece of that.
Well, my piece, it took me a while. And finally, it's always that lasting hour of getting things. I put myself into what I would want my readers to know about me. And I gave them the rawness of what I've been through, mentors, looking at oneself, defining what sisterhood is, friendship is. And I just wrote from there. And I just gave it what I had. And I still have more to give without giving names. But I gave scenarios so people can understand that we all go through many, many things in many walks of life. And it was just time to put that in writing. And I did. So my part is my passion, my heart, and my peace. And hopefully there'll be a second story to that. That'll be later down the road in life. So I just thank Rhonda for the opportunity.
It was great to have you share that with me. I think, it's just the expression of writing in a whole. It's a beautiful thing to get yourself involved with, but to have, that vulnerability in a sense to express your stories with the public, it should be highly appreciated. So keep out viewers for Sister to Sister when it comes out in stores near you, and we'll keep updated with our two authors. So Delina, let's go into greater context.
Thank you.
Oh, Delina, you're muted. Okay, so while we're trying to sort out a bit of audio issues, so we wanted to get into context, Miss Berry, if it wasn't too much. You've recently earned a $3 million contract with the city of St. Petersburg. Congratulations. To provide some training. So congratulations again on that. Why don't you tell us more about this endeavor, in particular for Kids College?
Oh, I'm telling you, Actually, I got some other good news. I'm the acting dean of workforce for St. Petersburg College. So with that, I carry the responsibility of carrying workforce. And with the $3 million contract, we were able to put a proposal together to the city of St. Petersburg to be able to carry on the economic development arm of helping people in the Southside CRA to get jobs. And we put a dynamic proposal, I would say, and it really focused on mid-wage, mid-skills jobs. So your entry-level certifications in healthcare, manufacturing, IT. We have jobs lined up. We have many employers that are looking to hire people at between $18, $20 an hour. And our goal is 150 people for the year, right in the heart of St. Petersburg, Florida. And I'm getting calls. I even got a call today. How can you help me with this plan in our city? We can. The community college is looking at economic mobility, and mobility means making sure people are, as I call it, out of poverty to prosperity. Everyone should be able to have a livable wage, be able to have a good job, and good benefits. That's part of it. And the only way you can do that is through education. And we do that very well at SPC. So proud. I got a new team on board and they're working hard. We're going to be doing a lot of social media. Hopefully we could be on this show. But if you're an employer or if you're in the Southside CRA in St. Petersburg, we are more than happy to get you through the programs. We provide wraparound services, case management, transportation, childcare. You even get a $100 stipend a week. Come on now. Where can you get that from? All of it is free and we have the money to do it. So I'm excited about the program and its success when we become successful at the end of this year.
Definitely. I wish you the best for that, especially, you have all these advantages with the stipend, of course, that should drag everybody right in.
Oh, yeah.
Well. All right, Delina, let's close us off.
Finally, how and where can people find the book?
All right, they can go to sister, the number 2. Okay, you got it. It's right there. Sister to sisterbook.com. And if you know any of the ladies on there, you click on that sister and you can purchase her book from her.
Right.
And she will get you the book.
$25. But I like Mr. Ron. He said 35, but give him the 10.
So the 25 includes the shipping and handling. So once you click on the link of your sister, it's a PayPal and you will be able the address and stuff. And so you'll get your book after when they come in. This is just, and I'll say, like I said before, this is pre-sale. So meaning if you purchase the book today, you don't get it tomorrow. Okay. The book doesn't come out to June.
All right. Sounds great. So you have it here, folks. We have Miss Turner Williams and Miss Berry. They've shared with us their strong book, Sister to Sister, that explores the 16 perspective of sisterhood in itself and the Black female experience and how to move and grow and collaborate with it for the betterment of themselves and the society that they're a part of. We thank you both for reaching yourselves and giving us the opportunity to interview today. And I just wish you both the best. And thank you again. Take care. Have a great night.
Thank you. Thank you. And we thank you for the opportunity.
Yes.
That will about do it for this week's edition of Community Conversation. We hope you learned something tonight that will make a significant impact on your life this year. Young people, there is no greater investment you can make on a Friday night than being with like-minded people on Community Conversation.
Thank you to all of our guests for participating to enlighten us, and a big sincere shout out to the Boca Raton Tribune for simulcasting us on Facebook and YouTube. A special thanks to our sponsors, Healthier Delray Beach, Blanc New Look Barbershop, The Night Group, DNA Total Fitness, Jeff Stern CPA, Winners Financial, Roots and Wings, Ezra Krieg, Marsha Eisenberg, and Doug Young.
Who is our featured guest next week?
Well, Delina, we will hear from 2 or more of these 16 women who chronicled their life stories in a book to help others share advice, guidance, and encouragement with each other. This promises to be another interesting show.
As we wrap up tonight's session, we'll leave you with this message.
A mask can say a lot about the person who wears it. But even more about the person who doesn't.
So we got alerts that there was a bit of a birthday shout out to do. Let's get that on, Delina.
I would like to do a birthday shout out to Candace Glenn. Happy birthday.
Thank you. Happy birthday, Candice Glenn, or devoted viewer. We hope that you have a great day today, Torian. And we just want you to spend it with maximum relaxation and take advantage of that weather update that we gave you earlier. And Lindsay McCrae Franklin, happy birthday as well to the both of you. So even though current update with the state of our government, elected leaders may have lifted the mask requirements, but please be responsible viewers and take civil mandation overall. We have a lot of vaccine appointments being readily available. We do suggest highly that you take that to move on to stability as fast as possible. And also PSA, after taking the vaccine, if you do experience certain side effects, it is highly recommended by the CDC that you do a self-investment home care for 7-day period minimum, taking a maximum of 14 days of self-quarantining to make sure that all side effects are subsided. Thank you. Keep responsible, stay masked, and have a good day.
Information. If it exists in writing, we print it. If it exists online, we update it. If it exists on mobile, we notify. If it exists in video, we show it. If it exists in audio, we play it. In the past, the news had to wait for a paper to print for it to happen. Today, news happens in real time. It's analyzed, edited, and published immediately by us, your neighbors, and of course, you. Wherever you are, you write, edit, give opinions, share photos, and make the news happen. This is why a paper needs to be on print, on screen, and on your phone. Wherever you are, your news has its pulse in the community. The Boca Raton Tribune. We are much more than just a newspaper. We are your closest neighbor.